All right, what's up, my peeps? Al Smith here. Today is Monday. I hope everybody is doing good. Hope you're having a prosperous Monday. For me, it is windy. I mean, extremely windy. So windy that uh, I'm very skeptical about my tripod right now. Uh, y'all know I've been having trouble with my tripod if you've been watching my videos, so I'm kind of skeptical because even right now my tripod is kind of shaking and man, I don't know if it's gonna last, but we're gonna try to get to it. So what I gotta do over here is I had to cut it, I had to edge it, weed eat it. I didn't cut this section right here. I cut the section over there. I cut the backyard. But this section, what I'm gonna do is I am going to blow the leaves up into piles. I'm gonna rake it up, and then I'll probably cut this section next week. The reason why I didn't cut this section is because it really doesn't need it. So I don't cut if it doesn't need it. I do everything else besides cut if it doesn't need it. And so that's where we are right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unplug the mic. That way the volume won't be so crazy. It won't be so annoying to watch the video. And I'm gonna finish blowing up, and then I come back on the mic when I start raking up. We go from there. All right, let's get it. All right. On the camera. All right, you should be plugged back in at this point. As you can see, man, that wind is vicious. I'm talking about it is vicious today. And you want to know something crazy? Like, it's windy, but it is kind of hot at the same time. This is the craziest weather I mean, it is the craziest weather. Yeah, this is something else. This really is. This is something else. But you gotta get through it. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know? No matter what the weather is looking like, you gotta try to get to it. Especially if you can. It ain't raining or anything like that, so it's like you'll be alright. Low wind ain't never hurt nobody. Low wind ain't never hurt nobody. But yeah, what y'all got going on out there? How y'all been? How was your weekend? Let me know in the comments how your weekend was. As far as me, mine was all right. Mine was all right. I didn't get a chance to do some of the stuff that I wanted to do. I didn't have like a lot of stuff going on, but the stuff that I did have going on, it took up way more time than I thought it was. So, but it still was a productive weekend, you know. Still was productive, so I can't complain. Last week was a super productive week for me. Since I've been putting everybody on my schedule, filling up the schedule, I've been trying to figure out like where I'm gonna place everybody on the route, what day. And so that was a big thing for me because I was trying to figure out like what time will I be able to get off on Friday based on, you know, the jobs I have. Do I even need to work Friday? And so it seems like I will have to work Fridays, which I'm fine with it, but it won't be that long. It'll be like, you know, 3 hours, 4 hours max. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, very doable. Very doable. This wind is hitting. I mean, so if you're hearing it in the microphone, I apologize. Just kind of bear with me, you know. So what I'm gonna do at this point is I am going to spray weed killer. Nothing is really bad. I can't say that. Nothing is really bad over here. It's a couple of areas that I was looking at and I'm like, dang, let me just go ahead and knock those out. I was kind of debating, should I even do it? Because if the temperature is not at a certain, if it's not at a certain temp, when you're trying to spray weed killer, it won't be effective. So, like I always say, once it comes from out of my backpack, out of my sprayer, it's the client's budget. You know, the client is paying for it at this point. So, or at that point. And I be wanting to make sure that my clients are getting the best bang for their buck. You know what I mean? So, temperature is something that I keep my eye on when it comes down to spraying weed killer. But like I say, it's kind of warm. It's kind of toasty, even though it's windy. All right, y'all, walk with me. But yeah, hold on for a second. That wind is hitting. I'm gonna have to hold the tripod in certain areas until I get on like solid ground. Now I haven't finished blowing off over here. I had just started blowing off, and I was blowing those weeds. Those leaves. So that was the first thing I started with, but it's nothing that I need to spray in the concrete. All of the stuff that I need to spray is in the beds. So even once I start blowing off, it won't be a thing of I'm stepping in the weed killer, you know. Whenever you're spraying weed killer, you don't want to step in it, because if you step in it, then you go across the grass wherever you stepping at. It's a potential that you will kill that grass because you stepped in weed killer, you know what I mean? So that's one thing I always look at and try to be mindful of, you know. I just try to be mindful of that stuff. I mean, as you can see though, the actual yard is looking good. You know, starting to green up. I mean, it does have some dry spots, but it is starting to green up for the most part. Yeah, that one was hitting. I tried to adjust the legs on the tripod so it wouldn't be so unstable. Seems like it's working. There's a weed right in between the leaf. So I couldn't just spray it, I had to pull it. I can't stand those types of weeds at 37. Those types of weeds, they aggravate me at 37. I'm trying to bend down at this point, like, man. Legs don't have as much comeback as they did 10 years ago at 27. Anybody that's 37, you'll understand what I'm saying. And anybody that's younger than 37, keep living and you'll understand what I'm saying too. You'll understand what I'm saying too. I was talking to a buddy of mine a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks ago at this point. And I've known him since childhood. And I told him, I say, man, you know, we're at the point where the kids will call us Unc. uncle, you know. It's like, hey, unc, you all right, unc? And man, he said, man, he's currently going through that. He was like, man, the little kids in the neighborhood, they be saying, unc, hey, unc, you buy me some candy, unc? So he like, man, man, how old do you think I am? Man, are you calling me unc? Man, I ain't that old. How old you think I am? I say, well, the kids understand that you older than them, so that's how old they think you are. I tell you one thing though, it is a blessing to be able to be called unc. You know what I mean? It's like, man, a lot of people are not as fortunate. Walk with me. A lot of people are not as fortunate to be able to be called unc. So, hold on for a second. Let me throw this handful of weeds in the trash. But yeah, a lot of people are not as fortunate to be able to be called unc. So I'm like, man, you better take it with stride. You gotta take it in stride. Be grateful. He laughed about it. And he like, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you, but nah, I ain't that old. And he's 2 years older than me. He's 2 years older than me, so he's 39. I'm like, yeah, you definitely fall into that unc category at this point, man. Hey, whether you wanna believe it or not, man, you fall into that category. So go ahead and embrace it and keep it moving. Embrace it and keep it moving. But yeah, like I say, this yard is shaping up real good. It had some dry spots, but for the most part, it's bouncing back. It is bouncing back. All right, so what I'm gonna do at this point is I am going to finish blowing it off, and then I'll be finished. I'll be done. So if you haven't already, don't forget to like the video, comment on the video, because I had asked the question. So if you would be so kind and not rude, comment on the video and let me know your thoughts on that question that I asked. And yeah, shouts out to the brands that are allowing us to be affiliates. Shouts out to Endurant Turf Colorants and the Geoponics brand. Shouts out to Amazon for allowing us to be in their program. And yeah, if you see anything that I was using, click them links below. Go to them products, support the channel. With that being said, I'm out.